intro for us anyway. Good afternoon and welcome to the Bconnected Business Show. I'm Mark Grant, your host from a business called Costless Payment Solutions. I'm very lucky this afternoon to have Ange Dion from Ange Dion Consulting with me as our guest. Hello, Ange.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you this afternoon?
Well, thank you for a sunny afternoon after a storm in Sydney.
Yes, that's one thing the New South Wales family and the Queensland family have in common. These storms are getting at night. Yeah.
You
Look,
can say that again.
Ange, I've known you for a while, but look, can you tell me a little bit about the story behind how your business got started?
Well, I was working in an air conditioning company. I was the national safety manager of an air conditioning company. Ran around 7 offices doing the work, and I asked for a backup plan where I could put a backup plan in place, and the director said no. And I just thought, well, if you don't want to grow the safety team because there was one person doing it all and it wasn't going to continue. I went back to my desk and thought, that's it, I'll quit. So I then went back with a resignation and I walked out, and then it hit me that I should do this as a job, and everyone was chasing me. Like when everybody found out in the office, they're like, the actual contractors were like, what are you doing? I said, well, I just quit. And they go, well, can you help us? And who's going to help us? And I was like, I don't know. And they go, can you do our work for us? And I was like, so from there on, it became that the contractors followed and I started working for myself.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, what do they say? It's to your advantage. It was a moment in time, wasn't it, that it happened?
Absolutely.
So when did you know that this was the moment, this was the right path for you?
To be honest, I didn't really know that it was the right path. It sort of fell into place. And as the clients started telling one another, it's okay, we still got Ange, we can still get in contact with her, and it started to grow. That's when I realized that I was doing the right thing by helping. Look, I've always been passionate about helping people. So, and that's when I felt that I was doing the right thing because I was helping the small business operator who didn't understand safety.
Yeah. So that leads us into our next question. What problem does your business solve, and why is that important to you?
Well, the problems that I solve in my business is small to medium business operators who do not have a safety officer full time. They do not have a budget for a safety officer full time either. So they can come to me for either setting up of documentation, they can purchase a system and we'll implement them, or we'll train them in what they need to be doing for safety as part of the legislation across their businesses.
I can just imagine safety and legislation these days be out of control.
I would have to agree with you.
So what's been your biggest growth milestone so far, Ange?
People know me as the Queen of Safety, and they know that they can call me usually after hours. I'm known as lastminute.com because we're trying to help people get on the field. So if they hit a project manager or a building site manager and they can't get past the front gate, they're normally like, I'm going to ring Ange and she'll sort it out.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to be known in that regard anyway. So
Yeah.
when things are uncertain, how do you make decisions?
In today's day, I like to lock myself in the office, go back to basics, think, plan, and do.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's and when you think, plan, and do, does innovation also play a part in your business?
Well, in the AI world, it can tell you, what some tips and strategies as to how to, navigate the uncertainty. However, in my business, there's a lot of human connection.
Yeah, yeah. We're all in the people industry, aren't we?
That's right.
So what's been the biggest challenge you've faced so far, and how did you overcome it?
Biggest challenge I've had that I've had and I've in my game is one of the first women in construction. When I first started, it was a very male-dominated industry, and there weren't many women around. So I had to fight my battles, overcome bullying and harassment, and stand my ground in a construction industry. Now, over the years, we've got a few more women coming in, so it's great to see that we have got like 13% of the industry is now female. And now I've earned my stripes. Like people know when I turn up, it's Angie's here to help us or support us, rather than what are you doing here? Why are you here at the moment? You shouldn't be here.
Yeah. In your time in business, Have you ever experienced failure that you're now grateful for?
If I ever experienced
Failure. Have you
failure,
had Yeah, that's right.
failure, when contracts cancel, when they don't want to pay for safety anymore because they don't want, it's not part of the budget, it's not that important, or if they lose money, like there's contracts. Sometimes we've got projects that lose money in a contract, and then the first person they cancel is my contract. So I think at that point, the only way to overcome it is that we've worked together for a while, and they'll come back to me if they need me. And I always say that if we're meant to work together again, we will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The old deja vu, isn't it?
It sure is.
So, in your business journey, what's lesson has taken you the longest to learn?
That I'm a giver, but not everyone is a giver.
Not correct. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with you. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about company culture now. How do you build and maintain it?
With a lot of patience, with a lot of understanding. I say empathy. However, I think listening is the most important tool that any director should have to play with. Listening is the most important um, trait that we need to put into any team. If you don't listen to what your team's got to say, there's no way of innovating, there's no way of pivoting, there's no way of growing.
So when you need support in your business, do you have a key mentor or supporter?
My family is my key supporters. They're the reason why I get out of bed and run around like crazy. I've always had a business coach. I don't do anything without a business coach. You can't be in business without a mentor. And I've got a huge network that I can connect with. So I'm in a lot of networking spaces, hence Bconnected world. So that way I'm always got somebody I can bounce off to.
Yeah. So let's talk about motivation. How do you stay motivated, especially during tough times?
Well, recently I've discovered the gym, something I never thought I'd say. But I'm a very crazy spin class girl 3 times a week for my mental sanity, for my weight loss journey. And I always say that if I can get 3 spin classes done a week, then I can stay focused. That's part of my minimum strategies to stay focused and keep moving. That's part of my weekly regiment so that I can be where I am today.
No. Yep, no, exercise is good, healthy body, healthy mind. So let's just
Absolutely.
go back in time a little. So,
Mhm.
what's one piece of advice you'd give someone who was going to start a business today?
Piece of advice: get a mentor. You can't do it by yourself because somebody else knows something you don't know.
Mhm.
I've been in business be 10 years, just over 10 years. I've been in the industry for 20 and I still don't know everything.
Yeah, still learning. That's very good. So, if once again go back in time, what would you have done differently?
Hmm. Well, it's very hard to put people in the seat who are not trained to do safety. So I find that I think I have to practice control because when you're trained to do safety or work health and safety, you have to have certain skills behind you and experience. And I think in my case, if I did go back, I would say put somebody in the seat early on and train them along the processes.
Okay, that's good. Um, and we also know mindset's very important. How's that helped you in your business?
I've been My mindset's changed over the last 10 years. And I can probably say that it's probably the best it's ever been lately. I've done a lot of mindset work for my personal health journey, which alongside has worked in the space of business as well. I didn't have the mindset to be a business operator. I was always an employee. So to me, it's very important that if you are going into business, or I learned that along the way. When I first started, I didn't have a mentor. I tried to copy what my mentor did when he was out in his business. I used to ask him things and he was like, well, you should get somebody to help you so that you can grow. But nobody says, work here because it evolves from your mindset. So yeah, it took me a long time to get to the mindset that I've got at the moment. to be able to stay in business and grow in business, because I was an employee for most of my life. But in the company that I left, I was an employee for 13 years.
Takes a bit to walk away, but so once again, I think you just answered this. How do you balance business with life outside of work?
I pretty much draw the line. I'm very conscious that I've been working long hours and it's time to put the stops. So there's a family dinner once a week and catch up with the girls once a week, but I'm very time focused. So if I get started, like my days will start at 4:35 a.m. in the morning. So by about 6 p.m. it's time to slow down. If I've got meetings to go on to, then no later than 8 o'clock, and then it's downtime. I'm very regimented as to getting into the gym, B, having quality time with my family, my partner, because you can't do it otherwise.
No, no. You need that support. So you partly answered this one. What does a typical day in your life look like?
I'm either out of bed at 4:30 a.m. to be in the gym, or I'm out of bed at 4:30 going to a networking event. Yeah, or I'm on site on construction with my teams for toolbox meetings.
Okay. Yeah. Good to see another early bird.
Early bird, yep.
Got a couple of rapid fire questions for you now, Ange.
Okay,
Coffee or tea?
definitely coffee.
Okay. Early bird or night owl? You're an early bird.
Definitely
And
an early bird.
yep. And do you read books?
I do actually. I've discovered listening to books now. So
Yeah,
sometimes I
e-books.
read, but most often I will do an audiobook.
An audiobook. So what's one book every entrepreneur should read?
The Go Giver Leader. It's a book by Bob Berg and David John Mann. It's about being in business and being a great leader and the traits that to lead by example.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank you. I haven't heard of that one. I must have to add that to my list. So what's next for you and your business, Ange?
For me, I'm looking at global domination as a speaker and trainer in the industry. I have a passion project that I've just launched at the moment. It's called Sneakers, Steel Caps, and Stilettos. It's a global movement, and in the future, I want it to be events where people can be themselves, bring their battles in a supportive community. We want to help people
Wow.
that overcome their mental health and anxiety and depression. So we
Yeah.
want to do a Tony Robbins style event where people can come into the room and feel energized when they leave. But like I said, it's global domination. It's something that I want to take around the world.
So how do you define success now, and how has that changed since you started your business journey?
I think success to me is to be recognized for the work that I do and to be able to help my family financially where possible. That's pretty much where
Yeah. Okay.
um, that I think that'll be successful. The idea behind for the future to have success on my own and haven't grown the team, and then once Sneakers, Steel Caps, and Stilettos takes off, then it'll be a global movement, and there should be a legacy behind it for people to connect.
Wow. So look, I'm sure some of our listeners this afternoon would like to contact you. How can they do so, please, Ange?
They can find us on our socials at Ange Dion or Ange Dion Consulting. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. We've painted the town pink, so they surely can't miss us. Otherwise, we've got some details at admin at Ange Dion or our website, Ange Dion
Yeah.
Consulting.
And also your mobile number is 0411 323 985. And for those who are uncertain, Ange's surname is Dion. D for Derek, I for India, O for Orange, N for November. And Ange, A-N-G-E. Thank you very much, Ange, for your time this afternoon and also giving us the insight into your business. For the listeners, please keep safe. If you're in Queensland, New South Wales, please, I hope that you can keep safe somewhat in these unpredictable storms we're continuing to have. So until next time, I look forward to welcoming you to another member of the Bconnected World family. Until then, bye for now.